Welcome back, my boys and girls. So today I want to talk about one that not a lot of people are really discussing right now, and that is going to be Collectorvision games. Specifically, though, we're going to be talking about their system they just recently announced a few days ago, which is going to be an FPGA-based system that plays Colecovision, MSX, and Sega Master System games in HD. Sounds flippin' amazing, doesn't it? And if you go through on this Instagram post, there's a few comments here. I believe I read somewhere. Yeah, they said it'll have a cartridge slot, but also an SD card slot to play ROMs. So that's kind of neat, right? Not much details about this, price, when it's going to release, anything like that. All we have here is just a little render, work in progress image. So it may not look like this in the end. Design may change, whatever, features may change, there might be added stuff, who knows for sure. But my problem, and it's my problem, it's you don't have to have the same thoughts as I do. I just kind of wanted to rant today about some concerns I have with this and the company in general, just from things that I have seen and heard about, because not a lot of people are really, going on YouTube or anything, talking about any of the weirdness that's been going on lately with these guys. And just to be upfront with you, I have never bought anything from Collectorvision. I've been interested in some of their stuff. I've been familiar with some of their stuff, but I have not bought or experienced any of their games. So I'm just more speaking on what I have seen, heard, and read about versus any of my own personal experiences. So this is not based on my personal experience. This is based more on my opinion and thoughts on how this company has treated its customers and how I feel that will translate into this possibly. So if you don't know who Collectorvision is, they've been around for a while, about 10 years or so, and they've been doing a lot of homebrew games. Right now they're pretty popular with the Sydney Hunter stuff, so a lot of people are looking forward to that, but that also leads into another concern, which for me leads into why I'm concerned about this system. So they recently released the Sydney Hunter and the Caverns of Death for the Super NES. And you can buy it now. It's available on their website, $60. I've watched several videos about this game, and I had some concerns with some glitches and weirdness going on with it, and I've reached out to a couple people that have to do with this, and I've gotten no answers. I was actually really interested in buying the game, but since I couldn't get any answers, I'm just going to pass it up. And then, upon further investigation on my part, this game was a Kickstarter, right? Sydney Hunter and the Caverns of Death, NES and Super NES game. So if you go take a look at it, they had 406 backers, about almost $40,000, right? So this has been ongoing for a while, delay after delay, that kind of thing. A lot of people annoyed with that. Definitely, any Kickstarter, you have to be prepared for delays. It is annoying. It is. I've backed a couple Kickstarters, and it is kind of annoying. Impatiently waiting, especially waiting for surveys, waiting for answers, and nobody gets back. Talking about like the retro-cade replay. Who knows what the hell's going on? They said they were sending out. We're not talking about retro-cade replay, but they said they were sending out surveys, and I haven't seen a survey yet. No big deal though. Whatever. I'll be patient. But once you start digging into some of these campaigns, and the biggest thing, if you read through the comments on here, there's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of good stuff too. People like, hey, I got my game, thanks, whatever. But it's the negative stuff that I hate to say it, but I'm more interested. I don't care if you enjoyed the game. I don't care if you got your game. I'm more curious at the missteps. For bad or worse, however you want to look at it. I'm curious at what went wrong. So I'm not 100% with this thing if they're going to go to Kickstarter. My thought is that they will. And if they do, I'm not going to back it regardless of how much money it costs. I've kind of learned my lesson on not being patient for things and just waiting it out. I've done that with a few things where I didn't back it and I just waited for it to release and then I purchased it. And I'm kind of fine with that. But once you start reading these comments and people who can order this on their website, it's available to the public, have received their game before the backers, that's kind of annoying. You take care of your backers first, then you go to the free market out there, let everybody get their chance to grab the game. But when you got people waiting around for their copy, that can be frustrating and annoying when people who did not back the Kickstarter didn't get it yet. Or, when people who backed it didn't get it and people who can just go to the store have gotten it before them. That kind of sucks. So I'm not going to go through every single comment here, but it looks like, there's several missteps. People not getting their game, before people who can order them online, people being disappointed with the higher tier, the gold version of this game not being, numbered like they stated. That's a big thing with Kickstarter. That's just kind of a thing, keep in mind. A lot of these people make promises and they'll say, hey, we're looking for this funding to do this, and this is what you'll get if you back us at this tier. And then they can't deliver, or they don't deliver, or they change something. Or, not to keep harping on Dreamcade Replay, but, part of their Kickstarter was, for the molding and, for the shell of the system. And now they're going with an off-the-shelf shell that's just mass-produced anyway with just their name, their logo stamped on it. So a lot of people are annoyed with that. That's a frustration that you just have to kind of go into expecting, I guess, that you're not going to get exactly what you backed. But, this company, they stated that you could get a gold cartridge, everything will be numbered. And these people who have gotten their gold cartridges, nothing's numbered. There's nothing special about it. They're not any limited number on it. Like, hey, I got number 50 out of 100 or anything like that. There's nothing like that. So people are annoyed with that. So for me, you could say, well, this doesn't have anything to do with this system. And yeah, it's two separate things, but it's the same company. For me, when I see a company handle certain things in a negative way, or just not even handle it at all, or not even deliver the way they state they're going to deliver it, that kind of speaks to me on, how this company is going to handle business in the future. You don't see, over the past few weeks of messages here, you don't see anybody really addressing. You don't see this company addressing these people. So, that makes me not surprised that, I never got an answer to any of the questions I had. They're not even answering their backers on Kickstarter, the people who made this game possible, supposedly, right? So why would I feel special enough to get an answer? These guys are the people who backed it, put in their money, and they're not getting answers. A lot of them have gotten their games, a lot of them haven't. A lot of them have gotten something that is not what was promised. And then a lot of people are also complaining about the game, that it's buggy, it's glitchy, stuff like that. You read some of this. What the heck? We paid all that money. They should refund the gold ones. I don't even want it now. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? The gold carts did not come numbered. That blows, since the original campaign stated comes complete with a gold cart box and manual and will each be individually numbered. So all the people who backed that tier didn't get what they expected, what they were told they would get. That sucks. And that leads me to believe that this is a crappy company. You might love Collectorvision. I've never dealt with them. I've never experienced any of their products. But just from seeing this and seeing so many people, saying how great the game is and how amazing this company is, but then you're not really seeing the dirt behind it. That kind of sucks. I want to see all ends of it. If it was just some little, if there were people on here just, this game's not as fun as I expected, whatever. That's kind of up to each individual if you're actually going to enjoy the game or not. If it's just a piece of crap game, then, that's one thing. But, it's more so a lot of these people aren't receiving their game, haven't received their game. People who weren't backers have gotten their game first. They did not deliver what was promised. That's the company. That's Collectorvision going against what was promised and what is right. Make sure your backers are taken care of first. So because of this game, the Sydney Hunter and the Caverns of Death, I'm not in the least bit interested in backing this if it goes to Kickstarter. if it comes out and it's readily available to everybody and it's priced reasonably, I'll think about it. I'm really curious and interested in this product. It's just a picture right now. There's no prototype floating around that they've shown. There's no gameplay that they've shown. There's no teasers, nothing like that. Like, the way Analog, promotes their products. There's nothing like that. So it's still too early to really know if this device is actually going to come out. It could just never come out. Who knows? They could be in over their heads trying to design a console versus just making homebrew games that, anybody with some kind of knowledge of programming can, create a homebrew game. A lot of people do. I'm not saying everybody could, but, there's people out there who have the knowledge to do it. And, hey, there's even other programs out there that let you easily make homebrew games, which is pretty cool. But definitely for this company to be designing their own games, their own assets, their own engine, whatever it is they're doing seems pretty neat. But when you can't deal with your customers and take care of them the best way possible, and it's more than just a handful of negative comments, that kind of speaks to me on how I feel about the company or how I look at it. So I'm concerned. I'm skeptical. Do I want to deal with this company? No. At this moment, just looking at what I have seen, not interested in dealing with these guys. I was curious to check this game out. I guess I won't check it out. I'm curious to see what this system can do when it finally comes to fruition, if it does. I just wanted to take this time and kind of rant about it, talk about it a little bit, give my take, my concerns, looking at a bigger picture, not just a product that they say they're making, looking at the company in general, looking at the way they've conducted business specifically with this Kickstarter, where there's an overwhelmingly number of people with a negative, experience so far. The game being glitchy, people disliking that, game littered with bugs. It's more frustrating than enjoyable. That sucks. The gold edition's not being done properly or being delivered as stated. Backers not even getting their product before people who, the public can get it. That stinks, man. That really stinks. And for me to see that bothers me about a company. And I would hope companies who, they want to do business and they want to do great things will take this kind of stuff seriously, because this is out there for everybody to see. You don't want overwhelmingly negative comments. There's always going to be somebody out there. There's always going to be a Debbie Downer who doesn't like something. Always. Doesn't matter. But when you have these little instances of nonsense, people aren't going to forget. People are going to find out. People are going to bypass this company, wait for something else. They're not going to buy your games. They're not going to back your system if it does go to Kickstarter. Now, is that going to persuade this to never be made? Hell no, it won't. If this does go to Kickstarter, will it get funded? I believe it will, but me, I'm taking a step back, not backing anything. I'm taking a step back and I'm not backing anything. I'm really, really, really on the fence with Kickstarter at this moment, with the way some of these companies treat their customers, the way they state how they're doing things, with the just silence, the behind the scenes stuff that nobody knows about, the just not being open with things. That's frustrating and annoying. And that's not everybody on Kickstarter. That's not every company that goes to Kickstarter. But it seems like a lot of the ones I've been looking at lately are having some issues, man. Really are. And that kind of stinks. Collectorvision, take care of your people, man. Make sure these backers all get their game. I mean, seriously. And these people who got the gold editions that were promised everything being numbered, how would that slip through the cracks? That didn't slip through the cracks. There's something else going on there. So I appreciate you guys stopping in. Smash that like button, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. With that said, guys, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out. Bye-bye. Boom.